All righty, and I got the Crafty Bunch. Okay.
Hey, 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 how's it going? How's it going, guys? Once again, I'm here in the Crafty Bunch, and we are doing this event today. It's all about it. The theme is called Inspired, and I've been sitting here watching these ladies who are inspired by other people, and I've got my own ones that are inspired. I've got my own inspiration girl in the house with me today. She's going to be hanging out, and that is Jan. Adrena, you just got through doing your craft, your little bunny, which is so cute. And that was inspired by Jan. Well, actually, Jan's inspired me. So I'm going to bring her on too here in a minute, and we're going to have a good time. So as you guys are popping on, Adrena is finishing up, and just come on in and say hi. I'm kind of waiting to see myself here, but I'm going to go ahead and pull Jan up while we're doing that, and she can say hi as well. Hey there. So
Hello.
any of you that actually just got through watching Adrena and falling over to me will actually see Jan. Jan, are you going live on your own tonight?
No.
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 And you're
No.
getting a lot of airplay without having
I
to do
know.
much.
I might have to change my mind on that, right? I might
Yeah,
need to go
yeah,
on
yeah.
somewhere.
Well, you and Adrena do a lot of similar, like grungy stuff. So, and I
We
was
do.
kind of like a toss up between you or her, but I know
We
you. And
do.
hi, Lisa, how are you? Matter of fact, um, we what I've kind of like been watching you. I've bought some of your products and things like
You
that. So,
have. You have. Yes.
and since there's such a huge advocate of Florida, I figured we got a lot to share. We got a lot in common.
We do.
All
We
right,
do.
so I am seeing us on the Crafty Bunch now,
Oh, good.
and
Okay.
yeah, I can see us here, and so we're pretty much good to go. Now, like I
Yay.
said, Jan, if you see us there, you can share out to your page if you want.
Okay.
Angie's already got us in there. Hey, thank you, Angie.
Hi,
And
Angie.
yeah, so we're pretty much going to be good to go. So these crafts that these girls are making are just really cool, aren't
I
they?
know. It's
Yeah,
fun. Yes, it's been a
yeah,
lot of
it
fun.
really is. Like I
Yes.
said, I'm gonna give Jan a little time here, but really why I chose it was, like I said, it was a toss up between you and Adrena because I like both of the I actually like the grungy stuff. I just don't do it much with clay. But I got to thinking, hey Mary, how you going? Victoria, hey the ladies, how you come on in, come on in. Me and Jan are gonna hang out for the next 45 minutes. And like I said, anybody that watched her knows that Jan is the one that she was inspired by, and Jan has inspired me. So she's got two in a row. All right.
I
So,
know.
but the
Grinch is
reason,
in,
yeah, the
right?
reason kind of why is because of some of the elements that you use in drinks. Burlap. I'm using some burlap. I'm using some wood. I'm actually incorporating my clay, but I am doing a little bit of grunge. I actually made up a little bit of the stuff too, the with the instant
Okay.
coffee. It's funny
Good.
because I don't even drink instant coffee, but my roommate does, and I'm like, oh, I got instant coffee here. I can get.
Well, I don't
It
drink
says it.
instant.
It says it's frozen. Well, we're not
Yeah.
frozen yet.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Uh-oh.
we're good. I'm looking at myself on my phone, and I can see us on
Okay.
Crafty Bunch. We're okay. It's probably just a glitch. Hey, hey,
Okay.
hey, hey there. I was just kind of talking about you, darling. It says we got Nora here, new to your page. Well, hello, Miss Nora. Bless Dragon's Craft. I would really appreciate you if you're new to me. If you would just tap on the screen there, see the little dots up there, and go ahead and follow me. I'm close, guys. I don't really do a lot of like following things, but I'm close to 1,000 already. Finally, it's taken me a while, but I'm right there. I'm like 890 or something last I looked. So I'm like, okay, I'm
Good.
getting some
Good
followers
deal.
here and there. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, like I said, because of the elements you use, Jan, and like I said, Adriana uses, and a lot of you girls use this thing, but I'm using burlap, I'm using wood, I'm adding a little grunge touch, and I'm working with clay. But I found a way that I can kind of do a quote unquote grungy look with clay. So yeah, thank you so much.
Interesting.
Not
Interesting.
Alexi. You're not Lexi or Adrena. I look at
Adrena.
your name and I always want to call you Lee Lexi because Lee Lexi sounds like a name in itself.
It
But
does.
yeah, so anyway, I'm going to
Uh-huh.
let Jan talk a little bit about her for a second, and then I'm going to get started. And tell them what you're going to be doing too, Jan.
Okay. Well, Miss Kim challenged me to the clay thing. Now I'm interested in the clay, but I've not done it. Okay. And I got her little she has a tutorial, you guys out there. So I'm very interested. So she kind of back door challenged me. and I did it. Look what I did. Look
Whoa,
what I
cool,
did.
man. Yes,
So
yes. Did you get a
I'm
mold?
excited.
Did you?
Well, here's what I did. Now,
Mm-hmm.
because I
There's different
don't know
ways you
what
can
I'm
do it.
doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'll admit that. But I got these fun IOD stamps that are the
Stamps.
apothecary. So I rolled
Yes,
it out and I
yes.
stamped it and I put it on this jar and I baked it. Okay,
Awesome.
on the jar. Now, is that going to stay? It feels pretty stuck, Kim. Or can I
It
pop that off?
is. Here's the
Okay.
deal. It is stuck pretty well. If you wanted it to be stuck to a degree where you can actually, like when I make the string pump mugs and all that,
Uh huh.
that you need to kind of do the entire thing because it will kind of like it'll encompass the whole glass. This has if this is something that you just use casually, um, and you're not going to get it wet per se, you should be fine because it does
Okay.
stay on there pretty well.
Okay. Okay.
If you want something that's going to be really more durable and won't come off, like if I do a mug, what I usually do is I will bake it on there, and I'll put before I bake it, I'll put a little bit of what do you call mineral oil on the back. It'll so it just gets the shape. I pop it off after it's baked, and then I put resin. I resin the back of
Ah.
it, epoxy on the back of it, so
Okay.
it holds it really strong and it won't come off, and that
Okay.
way it can be washed in water. So, but
Okay.
I'm excited. Yeah,
Okay.
you
I
did
know,
it.
right? I don't know
Sweet.
what it's going to look like, but
All
it's
right.
on there.
Well, all
So,
right. Yeah, she got out of her comfort zone, Mary says. Yes, she
I'll look.
does.
You
Hey,
betcha.
Melanie.
You
Hey
betcha.
there. All right, ladies. So Jan's going to be working on that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you down on my table so you can see what I've got going on. And like I said, I'll show you all the elements of the idea I had, and we'll go from there. And we can chit chat a little bit too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love this. I have another group, and Jan's been on there. Matter of fact, I don't know. You're going to be able to come on tomorrow, Jan, and hang out in the Live Painting
Um.
Sisterhood group.
At two
I
again.
don't know.
I might.
It's at
Let me
two
check.
o'clock. If you can't, that's
Okay.
cool. But then there's
Okay.
another
I'll let
group
you
that
know.
we have like a group of ladies, like three or four of us, all at once on the screen, and we recreate. And
Right.
that's tomorrow in another group. But anyway, for now, we're focusing on the Crafty Bunch. All right. So here's what I got going on. Hi, Natalie. How are you doing? I'm sure Jan will have coffee stain in there before she is done, as she possibly can. All right, so I'm gonna tell you what I did as far as my
New
grunging thing. And
batch.
Melanie is also Miss Melanie Lamb with Painting Crafty. She's a grunger too now. Okay, so I did take. I was this is the first time I've ever actually done the whole coffee mess. But I took a piece of burlap. This is actually like a really pretty green, believe it or not. But I did spray a little bit of the coffee on there yesterday and dried it out. And then I'm going to be applying my mirrors to this little, the little boards you get from Walmart, the little slat boards here. And I'm going to need you guys to give me some advice on this and direction because I did it so it could go both ways as far as how I should lay the mirrors out. And when I get to there, I'll ask you. Let me see, make sure I
Okay.
got my full screen going on there. All right, so I did actually spray a little bit. You just mix. I know you put cinnamon in yours too, don't you? You put
Yeah.
cinnamon. I just used straight instant coffee and sprayed it. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is what the back looked like. That's what originally. And then I just sprayed a little bit on the board to kind of, you're
Perfect.
not really going to see the board, but I kind of wanted to see, you just spray it on and it
Yep.
dried up pretty quickly. I
Yep.
think it's this balsa wood. So it's real thin and light. All
Uh
right. So
huh.
my concept is I did a while back, I took a round mirror, just a simple round mirror, and I did like a filigree effect of clay on the top of it. And I actually sold it in the last auction. I'm doing something along that line with the applying it to the mirror, but I'm doing it a little bit different. So we're actually working, both of us are doing clay pieces that apply to glass. So that's kind of cool. And
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
didn't even get the memo on that one. We just did
No.
that. All right. So the idea, like I said, is I'm using a little bit of rustic touch with it. And I'm actually going to apply this onto the board. Now, here's what I need direction on before I put the glass pieces on. Let's see. Sounds like a Zoom party. Yeah, it could be. It's freaking you out, ladies. Hey, Kim, may I watch all? I may not watch all because I'm waiting to be seen. Oh, I got you, Lydia. No, you're good, girlfriend. If like I said, if you can come on tomorrow, that would be great too. All right. So anyway, I have to glue this on, and I figured I didn't kind of figure out what glue. It's not going to be seen much. I'm just going to use tacky glue. Some Eileen's tacky glue. That's what I had on hand. That stuff's real tacky.
Mhm. That'll
It's
work.
tacky, like I can be tacky sometimes. All All right, but yeah, so here's what I need help on. You guys give me the idea. All right, what I'm doing is you can see that I've got three of these. Let me see the other mirror first. I've got three of these little mirrors that you get from the Dollar Tree. And these are like little trivets. I guess it has like the little legs, the little rubber things on the back. I took those off because I'm going to be actually gluing it to this piece of board here. And I'm going to have three in a series. They're going to basically look the same. But I need to know, like, what would be the best direction. Hey, Justin, how are you? I think this might be the first time you've ever been on my page. And that's pretty darn cool. Anyway, so, yeah, I got
Hi,
these three
Jessica.
little mirrors here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do this last one to show you how I created the effect with the clay on this mirror. And so right now, I need to know what you guys think would be the best direction for me to go. With this, I'm on StreamYard, and I got like, here's if I can do the stream. Hey, Jan, 1 second.
Yes.
I'm going to switch my screen over just to
Okay.
show me real quick so I can get a full view, and then I'll come back in a second. All
Okay.
right.
No problem.
So I've got this board here. Don't mind my darn computer. It's ugly. All right. So I've got my board. It's kind of like, long. It's a long board. I don't know if I should put the mirrors like this way. I'm going to put them on the board. There's going to be three of these mirrors like right in a row. But I don't know if I should make it so the mirrors are, will you put them on your wall like this direction or long ways? I don't know because I got holes set to be hung either way. You can hang them this direction or you can hang it lengthwise. And I don't know. You guys tell me which way because I need to know that when I start actually gluing the mirrors onto this piece. Okay. So I'm going to put Jan back on. And you guys come in, pipe in and tell me what you think about that, which direction I should go.
Do you have an idea in mind of where you want it?
Well, I mean, like I said, they're going to be placed on this, like here. They're going to be placed on the burlap board. And I just didn't know if I should have them going like horizontal or vertical. Should I make them where they're hanging vertical or should I make them where they're hanging horizontal? If people think they should be horizontal, either give me an H or a V, and let me know what you think is best. Because I'll be having to assemble those and put those on there at some point. Okay, right now, I'm going to go ahead and just glue this little puppy down, and then I'll start working on that clay piece. And this 45 minutes is going to fly by.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It always does.
Yeah. So you can chat a little bit about what you're doing while I'm doing this, and it makes it so we're not having to just be on point all the time.
Well,
that's why I like going on with other people. Justin says V. He says vertical. Okay. I kind of like vertical too, Justin. That was my first idea, is to do vertical. Anyway, go ahead, Jan.
I showed you. I put that little piece of the polymer clay, baked it on this jar. It's a pickle jar. Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna try to make it look like, an apothecary crock or something. I don't have crocks, and I know you can find them. So I'll be on the hunt for, crocks at thrift stores and stuff. But so I'm just painting it right now. I'm putting some chalk paint on there. So the grunge or whatever I decide, I got a couple things sitting here in front of me because I couldn't decide because I've never done this. So I didn't know, but I need the chalk paint on there first. So that's all I'm doing right now. Just getting a coat of chalk paint on there.
Getting the chalk paint on there.
Yep.
I love decorating the glasses. I've got such a collection of bottles. I haven't done one in a while since I did my mermaid and stuff last summer. But I've been collecting wine bottles, and I'm always saying, give me the really cool bottles. Because my daughter, they drink a lot of booze. So I'm always saying, give me what you got. Keep them for me. I'll pick them up.
Oh, yeah,
So what I did is I just kind of watered down that Eileen tacky glue because that stuff is like super thick and tacky, and this bottle's been sitting forever today. So I wanted to get it to where I can actually work it. But I just put a little bit of water on that, and then I'm going to put this burlap down, and then I will be gluing the actual glass pieces on with some like Gorilla Glue, which is kind of like your E6000 glue. All right, so hopefully that's going to hold. I'm going to let that sit aside, and now we're going to work on the clay piece. I'm going to bring that over. So like I said, it's going to end up looking like these two pieces in front of me, and I'll show you basically how I do the process on one. It looks like you can hang with either because your hangers both ways. Yeah, I did. I put holes, Melanie, in each end of it so it can go either way. But technically, I guess a person always depending on the direction of the pattern, but the pattern is kind of loose, so a person could go either way. I guess you're right. It really doesn't matter which direction I put the pieces on because you're doing it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is bring this over here. I've already got my clay piece rolled out. If anybody's not familiar with what I'm using, I am using, thank you for all that noise, Jan. I really appreciate that.
Sorry, girl. My Ranger broke. I need a new
Oh,
Ranger. I can't
that's
believe
all
that thing
right.
broke after
I've got a
6 months.
really big industrial heat gun, and I always kind of mute mine. I see I got a mute and blow.
How do you mute it? How do you
Oh,
mute?
you can mute yourself. Well, I could mute it for you if you don't want to,
Well,
but
I'm
don't
done
worry
with
about
that
it.
now.
We're
But
all
I didn't
good.
know how to
All right.
do it. Yeah.
Anyway, this is polymer clay. This particular brand is the Craft Smart Michaels brand. I use it quite often, depending on when to use white in this case. That's why I'm using the white. If I do hand building, I use some other types, but this is what I'm going to use right now. All right, because I want it white. And it's actually going to be a little dirty, so it doesn't matter because it's supposed to be kind of grungy, right? A little bit.
Yes.
All right,
A little
so
bit.
what
Yes.
I did is you take the blocks, you chop them up, you roll them out, you get them kind of soft and conditioned. And then I rolled it out with my roller. I have a pasta maker, and I got it to the actual size. I cut them to size according to this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece of clay, which is really floppy. It's kind of like working with fondant or something. See if it's stuck to my board. I did this yesterday. She can mute because she's using StreamYard. I know that's what I'm saying is I'm using StreamYard, so I can do it for you if you just let me know.
Yeah.
But
See, I'm
I'm
not used to StreamYard. I
yeah.
need to get
So
used to
what I'm
that.
doing right here is I got to look over a little bit, guys. Give me a sec. I have to kind of adjust my camera with the two-person and the thing in the camera. It takes a little bit of your screen away, but that's totally cool. I don't mind sharing with you, Miss Jan.
You can put me off to the side, girl. You go for it.
No,
This is
heck
your thing
no,
today.
no. It's
I'm
all
just
about you.
background noise.
And actually, like I said, I have. Whenever we do auction, I purchased quite a few of Jan's pieces. I love her stuff. She just is a big inspiration to me, and
Thank
like I
you,
said, I
girl.
love all of you grungy girls. And I don't really do much grungy stuff, but I actually have that kind of stuff in my home. It's just that personally with clay, it's kind of hard to do a grungy effect. But I think, like I said, I kind of did my own thing, and I'll show you in a second. So I'm
Well,
placing this piece.
you
Oh,
can
there you go. See
grunge.
how cool that looks, guys?
Look, you
See
can
how cool?
grunge.
I know you can use. There's a lots of things you can use for those molds. I know Would You Ben is a very popular product,
Oh,
a little bit on the pricey side. But did anybody know that you can actually use dry wood putty? Wood putty comes in it's like a powder kind of stuff, but it's actual wood, and you just wet it. You find it at your hardware stores. It's called wood putty, and they do it to like fill in holes and things like that. When I used to
mm-hmm.
be a prop builder, we used to use wood putty sometimes to make molds, and it hardens up just like wood. I've never used Wood You Been, but I imagine it might be similar. And that stuff is not really expensive, but it's called wood putty. And like I said, you just mix it up with a little water, and then you pour it in your molds or press in your molds how thick you want it. It works really good. All right, so that, and then of course you can use hot glue and foam clay and lots of things that you can use to make the molds. But I'm glad you used the polymer clay. All right, hey there, Miss Ray. Hey, sprinkling for sprinkling, not me, Miss Janie. Appreciate you. All right, so now what I'm going to do is to create the effect I did on these is I'm gonna put the stencil on top, and I have to I'm just eyeballing this pretty centered. Hopefully, I can get it pretty good. I kind of what I did is, yeah, I didn't mark my registrations or anything, but I'm trying to kind of get it pretty centered in here, and then kind of look at my corners and see if my corners match up. It's not exactly perfect, but it's pretty darn close. And and your naked eye is not going to really pick up on much of that, so I'm not worried. But I am trying to get it pretty centered because I am going to be cutting out that center part. All right, so once I get it laid on there like that, I'm going to give it like an embossing effect because this actually has a raised feel to it, believe it or not. You take a roller, a little brayer, you try to just roll that out. And what it's gonna flatten the clay out a little bit, so it's gonna go over the sides of the glass, but that's okay. The other two pieces I actually rolled out onto this board here, and then I transferred them to the mirror, but I found that it was really floppy and kind of a pain to get it set. So this is what I'm doing this way, and I think it's going to be a better way to do it. All right, so like I said, once I got it rolled out a little bit, and you can actually feel it. It's kind of raised within there. I need to cut out, and let me see. Let me find my X-Acto knife. Do I have one here hanging around? I got this one here. All right, so I didn't want to cut out all of the pieces. Going to try some wood putty. Yes, I'm telling you guys, these are little tips of the trade I learned from years ago as being a stagehand. There's lots of materials out there at your hardware store that you guys can get that, you don't have to spend a lot of money on, and little tips and tricks that, keep you from buying a bunch of stuff. And I'm all about that. That's another reason why I love clay. 'Cause like I said, if I can't find it or if I don't want to spend the money for it, I'll make it in clay. A bunny, a ball, or whatever it is, I'll just use my clay. All right, so like I said, when you're cutting this kind of a filigree effect out, you don't want to cut the whole thing out because you want to leave some of the background in place. So I was trying to figure that out. So I'm just basically cutting out, that one's going to be a little off. I can see it already, but it's already too late. I already rolled it on there and I'm not taking it off. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, Jan, tell me a little bit. Do you feel honored that myself and Adrena both chose you as inspiration?
Honored and amazed and surprised. All those
Right.
things. Trust me, girls, because you all know how much talent is floating around out there. So I
Yeah.
totally appreciate it. I really
Yeah.
do. Yeah, I really do. I know a lot of us do similar. So I know Andrina and I do similar, you know.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm very honored. You guys, you just blew me away. You surely
All
did.
right. Yeah.
So
Well,
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you,
if
thank
we
you.
didn't like you, we wouldn't be promoting you. We
Oh
wouldn't
man,
be
you guys are too
having
much. Too
you.
much.
And I am so sorry that I missed you when you came to Florida. You were just here.
I
You were like an
know.
hour away from me, and the timing just didn't work out. But
I
good night.
know.
Is anybody coming to Orlando anytime soon? Let me know. I'm an hour from Orlando. I could probably hook up with you if you guys want to hang out.
Yeah, we kind of had it sort of planned. My husband's like, yeah, yeah, let's do this, let's do this, and
Okay.
yeah, then something else happened. But you know what? It wasn't. We didn't plan far enough ahead, girl. We have
Right.
to set that up, right?
Right. Well, I want to do a river float this summer. There's in Ocala, Florida. There's a really great like river
Oh,
float on the
yeah,
tubes, inner tubes. I am
yeah.
like so about that. I want to do that this year. So if anybody wants to come and do a river float, you're more than welcome to come down. But we could get us a pontoon boat, rent a pontoon, and hang out. There's lots of fun things to do around here.
I'm gonna mute myself. I think. Do I just hit the microphone? Right?
You should be able to. If it doesn't work, let me know. I'll be able to tell if you
Okay,
need
I'm
me.
gonna try.
There you go. Yep, you got it. You can still hear me, Jan, but we just can't hear you. That's one of the things I love about StreamYard. StreamYard, I mean, a lot of people are not familiar with it, but I just, ever since I've been going live, I've pretty much been on StreamYard. I think I've used Facebook to go live maybe once or twice, and I get lost because I'm so accustomed to using StreamYard when I go live because it gives you a lot of features and all that, and it's easy for me to work. Okay, so you can see I'm cutting out these pieces here, just cutting out these little sections. I do have to keep an eye on my time too. By the way, the Crafty Bunch, this Crafty Bunch event is pretty darn cool, and all of the creators are doing amazing stuff. And after me is Miss Lisa with Lisa's Craft House. Okay, and I should have her tagged in my description. Hopefully, I got it right this time, Auntie. And yeah, so you guys can go hang out and see her next. And if you're not a part of the Crafty Bunch, you definitely like, got to join up with the ladies because we do all kinds of fun things. And there's a very, oh God, I got to think here, guys. There's a lot of versatility, a lot of variety and versatility of the things that we do. And I'm jazzed that Jan stepped out of her comfort zone and did something with clay today. That makes me happy, makes my heart happy. I'm trying to inspire you ladies and gentlemen, yes, Justin, to do some more things with clay because I'm telling you, I've done a lot of crafting like you guys have over the years. I've taught and kids and seniors and painting and parties and I don't know, clay just like hit a spot for me because it's so versatile. You can do so many things with it and you can incorporate it into the stuff you like to do craft wise too. So, anywho, oh yeah, like Lisa's right after me, and yep, she's going to be doing something rocking it. I know she will. I think we're going up till at least 6 or something tonight, 6 even 7 o'clock. I think maybe I don't know. Oh, I got this couple little pieces to pin out here and then I'll be done. Then I'm going to show you how I do my quote unquote grunge coloring method on it. Because with the raw polymer clay, I thought about actually spraying it with the coffee and the instant coffee. I didn't test it because I already kind of knew that I was going to use my pastels. But I thought, you know what? You probably could spray the coffee on the clay and make it work. All right, so you guys see I got my cutout going here. There you are, Miss Jan. See, I got all that little areas cut out, but I will be cutting out the center. I have a little cutter here to cut out my center, but I'm going to do that in a minute. After I color this, I'm coloring. I'm going to leave the stencil on while I do my coloring because I don't want to. I don't want to get the other pieces of the clay dirty, and it keeps a little bit more control. Let's see. Now here is how I'm doing my quote unquote grungy effect because I did use. If you guys look at these, it's got your brown tones and it's got like a little bit of brown. Looks kind of like coffee. It's brown and a little bit of the yellow ochre, but I'm doing it with chalk pastels. Okay, you shave off a little bit. I've showed this before. It's a nice way to get like little light tones of color in your raw clay. You have to do it when it's raw because when it's sticky. But I'm basically just taking a real floppy, like soft brush. Hey, Stephanie, how's it going, darling? Good to see you. I agree, Kim. Love playing with clay. Yeah, absolutely. It's such fun. It's addictive to me. Hey, so anyway, so and Stephanie actually, Stephanie Brooks, she's in the house. She knows a lot. I've taught her some things about clay, and I know she works with it a little bit too. All right, so yeah, so I'm taking a little bit of the brown. I've got a dark brown, and I'm kind of dusting it off a little bit, like tapping it off before I do it, and then I'm just kind of going in and putting a little color on the exposed white areas. Okay. Now, if you decide you have too much color, you can always take it a little bit of it off with a wipey, with a baby wipe, and then you can kind of work. It's kind of a nice little soft blend effect. Okay, and then I'm taking a little bit of the ochre yellow as well. I know you guys might be able to see that. I've got the ochre and then that dark brown, almost like an umber brown, and I'm just kind of blending them together. And I think it's giving me that like my little grungy effect. But that's how I created it with the clay. I'm sure there's more than one ways to skin that cat, but that's what I came up with.
We could do that.
So
That's
what?
all about that. Yeah.
So you got your? Oh, you still painting on it? Hold it
Yep.
up. Let's
I'm get
see.
Okay. What I'm doing now is I put coffee directly on the jar with some
Right,
Mod Podge that I
right.
mixed up, and that's why I keep heating it up because when you heat up the instant coffee on the Mod Podge, it kind of melts it, and you
Uh
start
huh.
getting that kind of waxy look to it. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I keep
Nice,
putting the hair dryer on it. So this takes a
nice.
minute,
That's
but
really
that's the look
cool.
I'm going for. That's
Oh
the
yeah,
look
girl.
I'm
I've
going
got
for.
so many cool like ideas with bottles. Oh, and
Oh
actually, I
yeah,
think next month we're doing an upcycle event, like a recycle
yeah.
upcycle, and I'll be doing a jar like that, sort of like that, a
Cool,
little different.
cool.
Because I actually need to have my bathroom. I got all my hair ties and all the things. They're just sitting in one big old bin, and they're a hot mess. I'm like, I need to get
Mhm.
me some nice, pretty little jars. Make some jars with
There you
all this
go.
glass I got hanging around.
There you
Something that I
go.
can make nice and pretty for my bathroom.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not wanting it a solid color. This is just kind of like a blend. And like I said, I can see my stencils a smidge off from the other ones. I can tell, but hey, it's all right. Hang on with that. Like I said, in the scheme of things, I don't think anybody's really going to be able to notice that. Okay, I got about 15-ish, 18 minutes, 17 minutes left. I'm hoping that I get this done because if I do, I plan on doing a giveaway and I've got my giveaway tool set up through StreamYard. We're going to see if that works. If it doesn't, then I got a plan B if that don't work.
Kim, are you just using a Mylar stencil?
Um,
What
I
is
don't.
that?
It's just a little plastic guy. Just a little plastic guy.
Okay.
Another thing I meant to say too is before you start, if your clay is really sticky and you roll a stencil down, you might want to consider putting a little bit of cornstarch on it
Cornstarch. Yeah.
before you roll it because it can get sticky and actually pull your clay up. I think I had done that with this one before, and hopefully it'll be all right. Because I've got almost a 90-degree day today in Florida. Yes, loving it. So It's probably a little bit warmer inside. All right, so I've got my little grungy cut painted. I didn't do the center because I'm cutting that out. Now I'm going to pull this up. Like, hopefully it won't stick too bad. But when you pull it up, you get that really cool effect. All right. Now your glass is going to be a little bit dirty, but don't worry about that. You can clean that up. I got a tip for that too. But there it is so far. Okay, it's pretty cool. Now even like you cut out that little center medallion, you could actually use that for something, or I could just do it over again. So, but I'm going to cut out that little centerpiece now. That way you'll be able to look into the mirror more. And here's my little cutter. Eyeball that. So what I'm doing is just kind of, looking over it. It's best when you're doing something like this to kind of look right straight down on it and try to get it pretty straight. It's an eyeball thing, so you just kind of have to use your best judgment. It's going to be a little off. And I know that my edges came off a little bit on the side, so I might have to cut those out and see how those look, or I might just leave them if they're not too far over. Doesn't look bad. Okay. And then you can just take your X-Acto knife or whatever, or pull it up, or try to pull it up with your hands. Like I said, you're going to have a film on your mirror, but don't worry about that. That's just oil. Yeah, I love the stencil on the clay too. You can do a zillion things. You can actually choose. By the way, Mary, your stencils, like the chalk couture stencils, those screen stencils, you can actually use those on the clay. I have some smaller ones that are Sculpey ones, and it's the same thing. So you can actually roll that on top of your clay when it's still raw. All right, just if you ever want to do clay now. You said your son does clay, Mary, so that's a tip for you. All right, so yeah, it's kind of over a little bit, but I don't think it's over too much. But here's what you do. I'm just kind of looking at it, guys, to make sure. It looks pretty good. I'm just going to leave it. Here's what you do to kind of clean it up. You can actually just bake it, because I'm going to bake all three of these raw pieces as is, like this. I'll put them on a baking sheet and bake them because they're still soft. Then they'll be nice and hard. But what you want to do is, I just take a baby wipe, and you can either do this before, even if you left it on there and baked it, it's not going to bake into the glass. But I kind of just do a little pre-clean. But once it's actually dry, it'll be hard, and that's when you can really go in and clean it. Now you must think like, okay, getting inside these little, little cutout pieces are kind of a pill. Well, actually, it's not too bad if you take a Q-tip. So I actually wet the Q-tip a little bit, and then you can kind of get in there. It's still not going to be perfect, but once you actually bake it, it'll be hard, and that way you can maneuver in there a little bit and get it clean. But this is like my little tip hack for getting those little areas cleaned off your glass. And, I don't have to worry. I'm just going to kind of wipe that off a little bit. It'll look a little streaky until it gets dry, and then I'll be able to clean it real nice. Now, the next thing we're going to do is just basically put it on our little barrel up here. Now, I might add some extra stuff to this. I don't know. It just kind of depends on what it looks like. Sometimes I like things to look real clean, and sometimes I like things to look real junky. It just depends on the idea and the concept of stuff. So, but right now, I'm just going to kind of place these. There was one here that I wanted to make sure that didn't. Okay, this one here is going to be on the end, and I'll tell you why, because it turned out a little bit more funky than the other ones. Just saying. All right, and then I had 4 of them, but I realized I couldn't really get 4 on there to make it look right. I wanted to be able to kind of. So that's what we're going for, guys. You see that? And I'm going to glue them on. I'm not going to glue them on until I bake them. So you're basically getting the concept here. And like I said, you know what? You'll be able to turn it either way you want, because the pattern really works both ways. So a person could hang it horizontally, or they could hang it vertically. So vertically, how do you say that word? Say it, Jen.
Vertically. Vertically.
Vertically. But I do want to make sure that I've got my sides. I want to, kind of eyeball it and try to make sure it's pretty even on there. Okay. But like I said, I'm not really going to be gluing it on yet, but this is pretty much what I'm going for. Now, if there's anything else, that Jan or, anybody might want to suggest to add to this, I kind of like the centered look of it right here. So, I was thinking about maybe adding another little piece, something decorative in between these two. I could roll out some little decorative pieces of clay and add them in between it, or I could just leave it like this. I looked at it, when you hold it up, you will be able to see yourself because it's got 3 mirrors, and you can almost see the three pieces of like your head, your torso, It's kind of fun because I got the circle cutouts there. So yeah, like I said, you guys any suggestions? I mean, I don't see a bow on this thing because it's more like a modern sort of streamline. Oh, hello, can you see me? You guys see me in there? All right. So, but right now, like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on. I'll put them on a baking sheet and I will bake them, and then I'll be able to actually glue them on. I can't do that right now. Technically, if you want to know the truth, I could actually bake all this together. I did that on another night with a wood project. I had it on there, and I baked the whole thing together because this is burlap, which is fabric, and then the wood. You bake at 275, so it's a low temperature, and it would not burn. But I did find that some of these little thin boards, if you bake them, I did one before, they'll have a tendency to kind of curl up because they're real thin and they probably still have a little moisture. So they'll curl up a little bit. Hey, Miss Lydia, how are you? So it's best just not to really, bake these little thin pieces from the Walmart. Can you bake a mirror? Yeah, it's glass. You can bake glass. Like I said, the temperature is 275. So that's a very low temperature for baking. I think glass is like, people that do blown glass and everything, glass doesn't melt to like a really high temperature. So since these are glass, but like I said, it had the little feet on the bottom of them. I took those little feet, those little sticky feet off, the little rubber feet or whatever they were. I took those off, and then so it lays flat. And plus, if you really don't want to bake those because it might get a little smelly in your oven, they might melt. But other than that, that is about it. I want to see what Jan's doing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull her up full screen, even though this is mine. I want to see what she's got going on. This is like it's the beauty of StreamYard. I love using StreamYard, guys. Could do this when we have other people. All
I'll
right,
have to
let's
get
see, Jan.
used to StreamYard. Okay, so I'm playing around. I like the jar. It's very wet. This is going to take a while to dry and it needs more heat, but interest of time. So I started playing around with uh the clay part and I not getting it exactly like I want. So this is an experiment for me. I'll have to play a little bit. I want the words to show up, but still leave kind of a lighter background so it jumps out of the jar. I don't know. It kind of blends right now. I can't
Yeah.
decide.
So here's what you can do about that. You want to keep your white, but you want your letters to look a little bit
Yes.
aged.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, what I usually do is a couple things. You can do it two ways. It's already baked at this point. If next
Right.
time if you do anything that's raw, you can
Uh-huh.
actually do like a little bit. Like I said, take your chalk pastels and just lightly like
Huh.
brush over the top of them. That's one idea. Since it's already baked like that, like I said, sometimes what I do, well, do like I'll do a distressing medium or some paint or whatever, and then I'll kind of paint the whole thing and then wipe it off like you're doing, and then
Yeah.
wipe it off with a baby wipe, and then you can go back and just kind of like touch it again, kind of play with the two colors back and forth until you get what you want.
Yeah.
That's
That's
kind of
kind of what
how
I'm doing. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's how I do it.
and then
And you can
I'll
take a real dry, just a super dry brush just on the letter so they kind of stick out.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the
So
baby
that
wipes
I'll
work
play with
great.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
either
didn't
way
know
they're
if I
dry or raw, you can use the baby wipes to kind of wipe off. So
okay,
that's
but I
pretty
could have
cool.
done that first and then baked it, right? Is that what you're saying? I could have.
Yes, you can do it a little bit
Okay.
either way. If you're
Okay.
unsure, do a little bit of small little square experiment and get
Yeah.
an idea. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because
Good.
if you
Yeah.
want, you can buy the actual colored clay. It doesn't have to be all white. You could buy a colored clay and
I
then put
saw
your,
that.
your little colors on top and do it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have a question for you. What kind of lid are you going to
Uh-oh.
use on that? What are you going to do with the lid?
Uh-oh. Did I lose you?
Oh, I'm here. We got frozen. Hope not. You guys there? Hello.
I
I'm
think I might have
here. I'm
lost you.
here.
Oh, there
I'm
you
here.
are. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
we
talking to
glitched for a
myself.
second. I could see you and I could see me, but it just
Oh,
glitched for a
okay.
second. That's the
Okay.
internet. So tell me, what are you? I'm going to switch my screen up now. What are you going to do for your lid?
I'm doing it right now. I got some cheesecloth that I grunged with the grunge. Now, of course, you can't bake cheesecloth. I mean, it'd melt on you. So you just do it, and then I took a blow dryer to it and just grunge that up. And then
Hmm.
I'm going to take some twine. All right, no, fabric. I think I'm going to do the fabric. And this is where you just get creative with your colors or hold on, everything's over here. I've got strips of the painter's cloth that I grunge. I've got, all kinds of things here to tie around it. And then of course I'll put some sweet Annie in there, which kind of very much makes it more primitive. This stuff is amazing. So I kind of put that on my stuff. So we got some sweet Annie's going in there. So I'll just play with it, decorate it up to get it um,
Hey,
more countrified or whatever you call it.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second. You
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
keep that. You need to keep that little spindle angel aside for auction. For I'm like,
The angel. Okay.
because
Okay.
yeah, I think I might have dibs on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, I love grungy. I love farmhouse. I love all that stuff. I just don't make much of it, in my own work.
Right.
I like having
Right. Right. Right.
so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. All
Yeah.
right, so we still got like 7 minutes, or no, let me see. Yeah, that's 7 minutes. We're at 23 according to my clock. So what I thought I would might give a try at, guys, is I want to do a giveaway. Okay. Now, StreamYard allows me to have this really fun giveaway tool. I've tried using it in the past and I kind of botched it, but I think I got it set up right this time. So we're going to give it a try. If it doesn't work with the StreamYard, then what I will do is I will say that the fifth person that I see that hashtags the word dirty. I'm using the word dirty instead of grunge because some people might misspell grunge. So I'm saying hashtag dirty in the comments. And after we do that, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to try this giveaway tool. If the giveaway tool does not work with me, then I'll go ahead and I'll pick the fifth person that does hashtag dirty. And what I'm going to do is I don't have time. I'm just crazy about trying to write names down and put them in a thing. So I came up with my own system. Every time I go live, I'm going to try to attempt to do a giveaway. Okay. But what I'm going to do is every person will win something at each giveaway. All right. You won't get it till the end of the month. I'll be collecting the names on that person. And then at the end of the month, you'll probably get a gift card from me or maybe some little happy mail. Okay. So I'm going to wait a few minutes and let you guys get your dirty word in. Remember, you got to do K Campbell Goldsmith. Do it over again, darling, because you have to have the hashtag and the word dirty right next to it. There's no space in between because I have it set up like that. So just do yours over again, Kay. There you go. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll be collecting my names that way. And I'll have to go back and sometimes make my little self extra work if the StreamYard doesn't work. But hopefully it will. And it'll be easy for me to just write the name down. So I had to come up with something a little bit different, guys, because I don't have, I'm not as together as to take time to write things down because I usually run out of time when I do my lives. But today I figured Jan's kind of taking up some of my airtime, so which is good. And I can kind of like have the freedom and relax and do this. And this is a fairly quick craft for you guys. All right, but do see how I was inspired? Keep doing your hashtags. Anybody that wants to win, probably going to do a gift card, either Amazon or Dollar Tree or something like that. Oh, Jan, that's so cute. I want
See
that
the
one
lid?
too.
Yeah, I just
That's
played
so
around with the
cute.
gauze and the
I know
ribbon.
I can make that. God dang it, Kim, you can make that easy.
And you can do that, Kim. Yes,
That's
you
what
can.
you mean. I don't have to make it. There you go,
Okay.
Kay.
Yeah,
Got it in
I'm done.
right. All right. So I'm going to give a couple more seconds to see if anybody else wants to put in the word dirty. Then what I'm going to do is, like I said, they got this really interesting giveaway, this tool that it's like a little screen thing. I guess it's a giveaway tool through StreamYard. And I'm going to switch that over. I'm going to share that screen with you guys. And then I'll go into mine and see if I can make this work. Like I said, if it weirds out on me and I'm not able to do it, then we will do it the other way. All right. So all I got to do, I've already got my words set up. I've got the word start collecting comments. And then we're going to draw. Ooh, look at that. You guys see that? Yeah, you can see it. How cool is that?
Lena.
Lena Tomato. Tomato, you won. You got it, Tomato. Okay. I got to write your name down. Lena Davis Norris, AKA Tomato. She won my first giveaway. And of course, it has to be somebody I actually know. All right. So what do you guys think about that? Isn't that a fun tool? I'm glad I got it working this time. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to try to use that tool from now on, now that I've got it figured out. If for some reason I get a glitch in my system and I can't, I'll definitely do it the other way where I'll just pick a number on the hashtag. But you guys see, that's not a way that you can actually like cheat. The machine does it for you. All right. So tomato, you're going into my little end of the month giveaways. All right. So I'm going to start doing that with every live and get an opportunity for people to get a little something from me. All right. And so that one's on, just so I know that was on with Jan. All right. So, guys, let's see. I got about 2 minutes left. Yeah, congratulations, Lena. Like I said, the reason I call Lena Tomato is because I used to pronounce her name Lana, and she likes to be called Lena, and it took me forever. So I said tomato, tomato. It's tomato. So, anyway, all right, Jan, I'm going to put you over here so you can see, we can see you again. You want to hold it up? Oh, you're cutting. Sorry about that.
I now all I'm doing is I'm going to add a tag. I like to take my stamps and stamp a word on this and then hang like a tag off of it, just
Yes, very cute.
Pinterest, just for
I love
fun.
it.
I have no idea what I would put on here, but because this says authentic London marmalade is what the
Oh,
little thing
sweet.
says.
Hey, where did
So
you get those
just
stamps? I like those. Those are pretty cool.
aren't they fun? I just bought those. It's from I bought it. There's other people that sell them, but I follow Scrappy's Rustics or
Uh-huh.
Scrappy's Rustics. Her name's Tracy. So I got
Okay.
them through her. Yeah, she's real quick with
Awesome.
sending them. I got them within 5 days or something. So, but that
Sweet.
I just follow her. But there's other people I guess that sell them. It's IOD. It's the IOD molds, and I'm in love with
Okay.
these. I can't wait to play more with
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I've
So
been
yeah.
getting mine off of Amazon, but yeah, I just ordered some leaf molds. I can
Uh,
make all these things out of clay, but it's so much
uh,
quicker just to do the mold and apply it to something. I'm like, I don't have to be a perfectionist. I can just do that and make it work.
That's what I thought when I started playing with like I'm not going to try to
Right.
create anything. I need a, a
Right.
stamp or a
Okay,
mold.
guys.
Yeah,
Well, you
yeah.
know what? I'm gonna have to cut us off. It's
Okay,
time. We got our
bye.
times up. Go see Lisa with Lisa's Craft House and go check her out. Watch the rest of the girls
Thank you,
today.
Kim.
I'm
Thank
glad
you,
you
Kim.
guys enjoyed it, and thanks again for your inspiration, Jan. And
Thank you, thank
we'll
you,
see
thank
you
you.
guys at the auction on Sunday. Both of us are going to be in the auction. You guys come
Yep,
check us out.
yep.
Bye. Love
Bye.
you.